Happy Monday morning, my fellow estheticians. Thank you so much for joining me on Shelley Show and Tell. I'm Shelley Hancock, and I truly appreciate you taking your Monday morning before you get off with your day to spend with me. I've got an incredible special guest with us today that I am so excited about. First, a couple of things. I wanted to let you know that today we dropped the plasma ozone device, meaning our inventory is finally here, and it went out in an email this morning, and I can already see quite a few of you have purchased. We didn't order a large inventory to begin with, so you might want to grab one right away. This is really a new upgraded high frequency, and I've been playing with it for months, and I absolutely love it on acne and anti-aging. So hop on the website and take a look at it. And I always like to give you a little quote out of a book, and my book today is Successful Women Think Differently by Valerie Burton. I've got so many highlights in this book, it's not even funny. It's such a good book, you guys. Listen to this. Remember, successful women think differently. They are able to notice when their own behaviors lead them away from success rather than toward it. And they are flexible enough to make changes. Woo, when we can actually just kind of look at ourselves and see where we're stopping ourselves, that is big. Okay, and I'm going to let my special guest pipe in on that, but I want to introduce her, Becky Kuehn. We've known each other for many years, and she is the best person I know of in our industry for oncology aesthetics. Becky, first of all, anything about what I just read that kind of hits you?
Well, I have to say that when I was listening to it, I thought, I wondered where that sentence was going. I've seen the book, but as a successful woman, which we all are in our industry, we've got a business, right? We got to think of ourselves that way. Don't you sometimes think that you're kind of crazy?
Every day.
I know. And people even say that to me, like, what? How did you come up with that? I don't know. It's just the way my brain works. I'm thinking about things all the time, and how can I make this better, and how can I move this forward? And yes, and asking yourself that question every time something comes your way is, does this move me forward to the mission of my heart, or is this going to be a side path? Because we don't want to take time for side paths. We don't have time for them.
We don't. Yeah. No. And the older we get, we definitely don't.
Yeah, definitely. It's harder to stay focused.
I have two questions for you.
Okay.
Oncology aesthetics.
Yeah.
How did you get into that? And why is it so important for our fellow estheticians to know about it?
Ooh, such good questions. Well, those of you who know me know that I had cancer when I was 18. So I went through the whole cancer experience, and it was in 1978. And it's interesting because I'm writing an article right now for Dermoscope, and they asked for a brief timeline or a history of oncology aesthetics. And when I went through cancer, there wasn't anything. There wasn't anybody trained. There wasn't any look good, feel better programs. There was nothing to help people when they were going through cancer. And the hard part is that, no matter where you're at in your life, we are women, right? And we want to feel good about ourselves. And that means feeling like yourself. That's all it means. It doesn't mean feeling beautiful. It doesn't mean feeling spectacular. It just means feeling like yourself. And when I realized that there weren't anybody or any programs or anything to help, I actually made a mental note at the time going, you know what? There's a gap here. And isn't that how things are created? There was a need and a gap. And so it really got filled. So through the course of my beauty history, I started in cosmetology in 1978 and kind of expanded that to really focusing on the skin, because back in those days it was 2,000 hours and you got to learn a little bit of everything. But that's where I really fell in love with the skin, and I knew that that was going to be my path and my focus. And then I really worked hard on how can I bring those two worlds together. How can I bring the art and skills and knowledge of aesthetics to somebody going through cancer who is missing their eyebrows, missing their eyelashes and their hair, possibly, not always, but possibly. Their skin is different. It doesn't look the same. It doesn't have the same color. It doesn't have the same feel. It could be a rash. It could be, neuropathy and many other things. So that created a program. I did start with Look Good, Feel Better. Then I started teaching locally with a local school near me. And then that just kept expanding because everybody I met at that point knew somebody with cancer. And estheticians would reach out to me and say, I have a friend, I have a family member, I have a client that's going through cancer and I want to help them, but I don't know how. What can I do? So we created the program real simply as an advanced continuing education class and gave estheticians the ability to be able to help whoever it was in their life that needed help as they're going through that. So that's really kind of how it started. And I'll tell you, it is growing, growing, growing. I said there's 2 C's that happened in 2020, right? COVID and cancer increased, guys, between 8 and 300% from 2020 to 2022. And there's a couple of reasons for that. I'm sure that it will come out and we'll learn more about it as we go forward. But the bottom line is we need more estheticians trained to work with cancer patients because there's going to be more of them. I keep crossing my fingers and hoping that cancer is going to get a cure and go away. And then I can go do something else. But in the meantime, it just keeps growing and there's a huge need for us and there's such wonderful things that we can do.
What are a couple of things off the top of your head that an esthetician should know about working with a cancer patient?
So I think first and foremost, and I say this all the time, is that somebody going through cancer, so a client with cancer is still a client, right? They're coming into the spa because they want to feel better. They want to fix something. They want to feel better. They want to rest, relax, right? Those are the reasons that people go to spas. So if somebody comes in to your spa and you are prepared to help them, then you're going to be asking them a series of questions like, you know, what medications are you on? What type of surgery have you had? Have you had any lymph nodes removed and or any radiation? Because that will impact our massage movements and what we can or cannot do in the service. And then let's find out what that client really came in for and what do they need and how can we help them today? Because, you know, people always ask me what services are appropriate. Well, you can pretty much do most services, but they will be customized. And there are a lot of things though, however, now that I said that we kind of push back to when they're done with their cancer treatment. So we avoid anything that is extremely aggressive or even slightly aggressive in the skin, because you've got a client who's got multiple medications and their skin is going to be very reactive. So it's not going to be like it has been in the past. And if you've ever worked with somebody, a client maybe, who was a past client and you were able to do peels and dermaplaning, whatever it was that you were doing, you will not be able to do that during the treatment time. So we just kind of move that out. We wait until they're all done with their treatment. And then we can do those things again, but we have to test them slowly because some of them, believe it or not, when they're done, they can no longer use products they used before. They either don't like them anymore, the smell is off or something is just not right, or it doesn't have the same impact. So they'll need us to kind of walk them through what's going on and how they can move forward with their skincare.
So Becky, we all love touch. We all know a lot of clients come just for the touch, you know, and they just get the added bonus of healthier skin. And I can imagine that oncology clients, touch would be even a little bit more important. And you just said a couple of minutes ago that about the massage, we have to change, we have to switch that up. Can you kind of explain that a little bit more?
You bet. So one of the things that happens a lot of times with a client who's going through cancer is that people don't touch them. So people in their circle are kind of afraid to touch them, right? Treating them like a China doll. They don't want to hurt them. They don't want to touch them. So they back off on their physical touch. And it's something that is literally required for healing. We need it. We're human beings. We need touch. So when a client comes in and you learn in oncology aesthetics how to touch appropriately, it will depend on the client. So everyone's going to be different. And I call it personalized skincare, right? We should be doing that all the time anyway. So if that client has, let's say, lymph nodes that were removed in the upper décolleté or the axillary area, had a breast, maybe a mastectomy, that will impact the massage on that arm for the rest of their life. So that's what we call a forever modification. So we can no longer do deep tissue. We can no longer move or slide or do our effleurage movements, or we shouldn't, because those types of things can trigger a condition called lymphedema. And that would increase swelling, lymphatic fluid in that arm. And it would be a condition then that that client would have to be handling now for the rest of their life. So I always say, when they come to us, we want to give them and leave them with something special, not with something like that, right? So we teach a method called the hug and hydrate. So it's a touch move where you're actually just really hugging the client with your hand and moving to the next spot. So you're not sliding and you're not risking any lymphedema, but they still get the touch.
Wow.
Yes. So
wow.
important. So important.
So just that piece of information right there tells me how important it is for our estheticians to be educated if they're wanting to work on oncology patients. I mean, wow. I mean, truly educated, or just don't go there, right?
Correct. And here's the importance. I always say, who should know this stuff? Anybody who's going to touch a client. So a massage therapist, an esthetician, a hairstylist, a nail tech, right? Anybody who actually touches a client needs to know this information. And what that does is it prepares you so that no matter who comes into your treatment room, you know how to move forward with them, and you never have to turn them away or refer them to somebody else, right? Be prepared.
I love it. So that leads me to, how do they become prepared with you? Do you have anything new coming up? New classes or?
Okay, so I'm super excited about this. We've had our 24-hour class for, since 2013. And we're moving into kind of a new direction, and I'll tell you why. My mission, and I think I've shared this with you before, Shelley, is to have an oncology trained spa professional in every cancer center in the US. I don't want any cancer patient to get missed. I don't want any cancer patient to get turned away. I want them to have the help that they need. And so, a big part of it was, I should say, half of it was training estheticians, right? So that you guys are ready when that client walks into your treatment room. The other half, which has taken all the way till 2022 to make this happen, is getting the medical world to understand that, and I love this word, we are a valuable and essential part of the care for a cancer patient. And we finally are there. Okay, so now are every hospitals there? No, not yet. But I'll tell you what happened this year. We have a pilot program that we are launching in August called Prescribing Wellness. And it will team oncology trained spa professionals with oncologists and medical teams. And when the patient comes in, the oncologist has a new prescription pad that actually lets them write a prescription for a skincare therapy, for a wig, for a nail treatment, whatever it is that they need within the wellness, a massage, yoga.
Wow.
They finally get it. And I think that there's been enough studies, because that's kind of how the medical world works, okay? They need a study to show that what we do actually impacts or increases the healing in a cancer patient. And they now have plenty of them. So, and here's a really exciting thing. We signed on with this very large hospital group. We start the pilot program in August. We kind of launched it at the Global Wellness Institute in January. And at that particular event, we had 5 other hospital groups say, put me on the list. We want to be on there after you're done with your pilot.
Oh,
okay?
wow.
So with the pilot, we thought, think about it. How many patients do you think within one hospital group would want to sign up for this? We thought maybe 1,000, maybe 5,000. They told us 2 weeks ago that they have, this is a large hospital group, they have 6 million people on the waiting list for this program. That's how many people are interested in the integrative care that we give while they're going through cancer treatment. I know, isn't that exciting?
Becky, that is just, I've got like chills.
I know.
I have chills right now.
Me too. I was so excited. So one of the things we're going to do, so here's what's new. We're expanding our 24-hour course to a 100-hour real certification course, which right now currently, other than laser in our industry and probably permanent cosmetics, there aren't any real certifications. So this will be a real certification program. You will learn everything you need to know about cancer and then some, and then how to work within a hospital medical group. So it's how to do soap notes. It's how you will be come out of that class HIPAA certified, CPR certified, everything you need to work with cancer patients. Isn't that exciting?
Wow. Well, that is above exciting. And can I just tell you, you are absolutely incredibly amazing. Wow, what a journey that you've been on through all of this and the hard work you've put in.
Well,
Thank you.
it's my
Thank you.
passion. And you know
Yeah.
what? When you are doing what you love, it never has felt like work. It has never felt like work. I get up in the morning. Well, actually, if I go to sleep at night, I'm always thinking at night oh, I need to do this. I need to do that. Oh, we should add this. Oh, wouldn't that be great? But I get up so excited every day. And I hope that for each one of you guys, you know, whatever you pick in life, I hope you love it that much. I hope you love it so much that when you get up in the morning, you are just so excited to start and make something special happen for people in your life.
I can relate to that. Every morning I get up and just say my gratitude about after 36 years, I feel still so blessed to be in this industry.
Yep.
Becky, how do my following estheticians, my fellow following estheticians, how do they find out about this program and become part of it?
So you can go to my website, it's oncologyspasolutions.com. And you can always email me. It's Becky at oncologyspasolutions.com. Okay. So I'm here to help and assist because, you know, in order to fill every cancer center, I need lots of people. Can't do it by myself.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, can't do it by
Sounds
myself.
like it. Wow. I can't thank you enough for joining us today. And everyone out there, please connect with Becky. I mean, she's got an incredible program here. What a great career if you're just getting started, to just get started this way. I mean, it's just, this is such a blessing. Thank you so very much, Becky. I appreciate it. It was good to see you again.
Yes. And thank you, Shelley, for everything you're doing, and super nice to see all of you and all of your faces. Thank you for being with us today.
Everyone, have a great day. Have a good Monday. See you next week.